Hi everybody, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make the star bridge bracelet. This is it up close, and this was created by bias_loom on Instagram, and so it is dual-sided. However, this is the signature side, right on the front or the back. And let me just bring up her profile. So this is her profile, and you can see, great account, whoa. Weird phone. Great account, great pictures. I love her account. It is so cool. So definitely make sure to give her a follow on Instagram if you have Instagram. And I'm going to teach you how to make this today. So this was originally a 2-loom design when she sent me the tutorial. However, I made it into a 1-loom design for you guys because I know some of you only have 1 loom. So, sorry, my phone keeps ringing, and I don't know why my friend keeps calling me, but whatever. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. I've made it into a 1-loom design. It was originally like this, and it's still like this. So, you are going to have to be able to move your loom into this configuration and the other way around as well. So, just so you know that. And you're also going to need a hook, a C-clip, and today I'm using 4 colors of bands as I am using here. So for the center chain here that connects them and the outside chain, I'm using fuchsia. Then for the little ocean blue bands that like wrap around here, I'm using white. Then for the single chains, I'm using the new Sparkle Maroon Pearl from the Rainbow Loom website. It's pretty stretchy, it's not sticky at all. For the teal in this, I'm using Gold Jelly. So, let's get started. I've already wasted 2 minutes. So, have your loom's arrows pointing away from you, and you're going to want to have it going up to the right. So, like that. Okay? So, take your border color, mine's fuchsia, and go from the leftmost peg to the center. Then go from, so take your single chain band here, which is my white, go straight up, or not, white is not my single chain color. Sparkle Maroon is my single chain color. I'm going to go straight up with it. Then I'm going to take another fuchsia band, go from the center out to the right, and I'm also going to take one of these like zippy bands, I guess I'm going to call it, and that's white for me, and I'm just going to lay that straight on top of it. Now what you're going to do is take your single chain color, which is my Sparkle Maroon, and you're going to do a single chain all the way up to here, and then you're going to go down. So, single chains are pretty simple. You're just going to go straight. I'm trying to get these bands to lay nicely, because I haven't ever used them before. I just got my bands today. So, I'm going to go to the top of the loom. And keep in mind this is only 1/2 of the bracelet. If you have 2 looms and you prefer to do it on 2 looms without a transfer, then you can always just duplicate this on the other side and without having to transfer it. I just wanted to do a 1 loom. And then you're going to go down into the center, just like that. Go back to the beginning of your loom. Take your single chain color that's on the sides, fuchsia, for me, go straight up. Take your white, go out. Fuchsia up, white, out. And do this all the way down your loom. So, fuchsia up, white out, and make sure that you do it in this order. It's very important. And last one will go all the way to that end and then down, just like that. So now what we're going to do is be placing the zigzag bands here. So take your color for the zigzags. I'm using gold jelly. Go from the leftmost peg, or not the leftmost peg, the center peg. Go out to the left, then back into the right, out to the left, into the right. And just keep doing this all the way down your loom as well. If you have two looms, you can either just do zigzags down both sides, or you can place it in an X pattern, which is how I was taught to make it, but it doesn't matter anyway because you are just bringing the bands out. So, does not matter the order, whatever's easiest for you. Some of you may know my pet peeve is twisty bands or twisted bands. I don't like them when they're twisted in my bracelets, and I especially don't like them when I'm looping them. And your last one will go out, or to the very left peg, which is actually the center of the bracelet. So, then go back to the beginning of your loom. Now we're just going to place a simple single chain. So take your fuchsia band, whatever color you're using for the center, you can't see it that well on this bracelet, and just create a single chain from that leftmost peg going straight down the loom. And the last one will go straight here. Take your border color, your center color, whatever color you're using, put a cap band on that last peg. And now it's time to start looping this half of the bracelet, so turn your loom around so the arrows are pointing towards you. Grab your hook and let's start the looping process. So the first thing you're going to do is go underneath of this capping band, grab that top single chain band, loop it forward, go back in, grab the single chain band, loop it forward. And you're just going to loop that single chain all the way down your loom. So, I'm going to just kind of do that, if I can grab my single chain band. This will be your band that kind of connects both halves of your bracelet, and it kind of creates a cap band all the way down the loom, instead of using individual cap bands. Alright, push your bands down, come back to the beginning. Now what we're going to do is just loop out these gold jelly bands or the zigzags. So go underneath of the first capping band, grab that gold jelly, pull it out. Sorry about my hideous fingers, they're orange. I was working with clay again. Then grab your next band, go out to itself, and out to itself. You're just going underneath of the capping band, looping that band back towards itself, and just doing that all the way down your loom. Alright, and loop that last one out to itself. Now go back to the beginning of your loom, and we are going to be looping the white bands here. So what you're going to do first before you loop the white bands is go underneath of the last cap band again, grab that single chain band, loop it out to itself, then go underneath that single band, grab the white, and you're going to just loop it onto itself. And it's okay if this band stretches, it's kind of supposed to. Then you're going to go underneath these 4 gold bands, if I can just go underneath the 4, grab the top white, loop it back towards itself, go in here, sorry I moved my camera, grab the top white, move it back towards itself, and repeat this all the way down your loom. So, just going to move that back. Keep hitting my camera and I don't know why. Try and fix that. Oh, the garage is opening and my mom is home. So, once you finish looping those bands back to themselves, go back to the beginning of your loom. You may want to push down these white bands, but it's not entirely necessary. What we're going to do now is loop the capping band, or not the capping band, what am I saying? The single chain. So go underneath of those 2, grab the bottom single chain band, but don't loop it up to itself. Instead, loop it out to where the second white set is. Okay? Go underneath to the bottom, grab the single chain band, loop it out to the outside where the next white set is. Loop it out, and just repeat all the way down your loop. You're just going to the bottom, grabbing that band, looping it out. It's not too stressful on your bands, and it's not very tight either. That means the same thing. What am I saying? Not too difficult. Doesn't put that much stress on your bands. So if my mom comes into my room, I'm sorry. She sometimes doesn't understand that I'm filming and that filming needs to be silent or quiet at the very least. So, and then we're going to go ahead, I can't talk today. We're going to go ahead and loop the border. So go underneath of this white band out here, grab the fuchsia band, loop it up, go underneath all of those bands, trying to go underneath them, grab the bottom fuchsia, loop it up, and just repeat this all the way down your loom. It's a lot easier for me to do this when it's down here. So just grabbing that bottom border band, looping it up to itself, Alright, once you loop it up to here, go to the bottom, grab that one, pull it into the center, grab this one, pull it into the center, and before we pull this off, I just like to pull off these bottom bands and the capping bands. Now there's not many bands up here, there's only 4 loops, so I'm going to just put it on my hook and pull this off the loom, just like that. So here's half of your bracelet. This is the back side, this is the front side. Looks kind of weird right now because we don't have the completed product, but I'm going to keep these bands on my hook kind of on the thicker part so they don't slip off. I'm going to put this aside for now, and I'm going to actually rearrange my loom, so make sure that your loom's arrows are still pointing away from you, and you're going to want to take this pin here and bring it to one below where this one is. So right now it looks like a staggered configuration. Then take the other pin, the one that's on the left, and move it like this so that it goes up to the right instead of up to the left. Kind of push those base plates in. And now we're going to repeat the same thing on this side. So, take your border color, go from the center, from the left to the center, then take your single chain band and go straight, Then go from the center to the right. Also take one of those zippy bands, mine's white, and do the same thing. Then what we're going to do is take the single chain bands, go all the way down the loom, and once you get to the very top one, I'm going to take one more and go down into the center. Then, now we're going to place the outer border, so go straight with your border band, then out to the right with your kind of zippy band, straight out to the right. So you're just mirroring everything that you did on the left side, and I'll show you how to take this other part here and put it on your loom and then loop with it. And last one, just like that. Now go back to the beginning of your loom, and we're going to place the zigzag bands. So take your bands and go from the center peg out to the right, from the right back into the center, center out to the right, right back into the center. Repeat this all the way down your loom. Then, instead of placing the single chain, I'm going to show you how to kind of fix this bracelet together. And last one will go out or into the center, which is, this is the center of the bracelet. So take a capping band, put it on, or actually no, we don't need a capping band, sorry. Don't put a cap band on the end, you already have a cap band. So you're going to want to take these bands that are on your hook now, and there's only 4 of them, so this isn't going to be a very difficult transfer. But you're going to go back to the beginning of your loom, and you're going to put all of those bands onto this peg. So, take the 4 bands on your hook, stretch them out just a little bit so that you can place them on. So sometimes I like to do 1 or 2 at a time. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. Alright, so I'm going to take these 2 bands and put it on. Then take these 2 bands, put it on, just to make sure that I don't lose any of the bands. Now, you can pull on it, adjust it however you like. This should be how it looks, the upside down part of your bracelet. This is the signature side. So you're going to stretch this all the way down, but as you stretch it down, make sure that you take the first single chain band and put it on that center, or on that peg. Grab your next one, put it on the next peg. Make sure you're grabbing the very next center or single chain band. So put this one, and make sure you're only grabbing those 2 loops, putting it on. And sometimes I like to just pull it down to the end and hold it down here while I put these on. This can take a while, so I'm sorry if I'm going slow. This is kind of difficult to not do up close. Alright, so I'm kind of getting to the end of my loom. I'm just going to let this go now. Alright, so then it looks like I did something wrong, question mark, because these bands all fit on. Just when I go down to the end, my capping band doesn't fit on. Well, that's a little weird. Alright, I'm just going to put that on. And I'm going to put this one on. Oh, no I'm not. I'm not doing it wrong. I'm just going crazy. Don't mind me, I'm just going crazy. The cap band goes on this end peg. I thought this was the center. Okay, don't mind me. I'm just a crazy child. Anyway, so put the last capping band on that peg. It should be the last fuchsia band. Now it's time to start looping. This video is really long. Turn your loom around so that the arrows are pointing towards you. And we're going to loop this out. Since the single chain is already looped, we don't need to loop it again. So go underneath of the capping band, grab the gold, pull it out to itself. I like to untwist my bands. Then you're going to go inside of the next capping band, grab the next gold band, pull it out to itself. And so it can be a little difficult to do this with this whole side of the bracelet. You just have to push back those bands and put them on the pegs. Put the cross bands on the pegs, I should say. Alright, once you finish looping all these bands out to themselves, now you're going to loop out the white. But before, remember we have to go underneath the capping band, grab the single chain band, loop it back to itself, then loop this white down to itself. It's going to be kind of loose, but it looks fine. So then go under here, under the 4 gold bands, grab the white, pull it back, underneath of the gold, grab the white, pull it back. And repeat this process all the way down your loom. And grab this last white up at the top, pull it down to itself as well. Now what we're going to do is loop our single chain, so push down these bands here. But remember, it's not like a normal single chain. We're going to go underneath of both of those parts of the band, grab the bottom part, and instead of pulling it up to itself, we're going to pull it outwards to the second white band peg. The next peg, the next peg, next peg, all the way down your loom. Oops. Alright, and once you finish looping out that last one, we're going to loop the border. So go underneath of the white band down here, grab the fuchsia, go up, go underneath to the bottom band, grab it, pull it up, bottom, pull it up, and go all the way down your loom. And then once you get to the top, loop this in and in again. Take an extension band, put your hook through. I'm not personally going to take these off, but you can if you want, and just pull that off, and they'll come off really quickly down your loom, just like so. So, if you did it correctly, and I'm hoping that you did, this is what your bracelet should look like. Single chains are on the top, and this is the back of the bracelet. So, ta-da! And also you can just pull on this capping band and attach it to a bracelet. So, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure to follow Loom on Instagram. I'll have her name in the description box below, as always. And again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time.